Hi there, Mike Holmes here with 5 Ways to Better Sundays, and glad to have you here. Let me tell you what we're talking about today. Talking about inviting folks to church. All of us love to invite folks to church because we know it's a top-notch environment for people to hear and both see the gospel, to see Christians right there, and to have people that can help them understand the ways of Christ. It's a great place for families to grow and create lifelong friendships. It's a great place for personal growth. So how do we get folks to church? Well, I like to call it digital visitation. This is just something that what I call, and it's another way of doing it, reaching out to people. Of course, I love to go to their houses and knock on their doors and visit them, but I found that that's not always the most effective, and I found that it takes a long time, and I can't always get to as many as I'd like to. So I do several things. Here are the 4 different things that I do. Number 1 is I've created a list, and I call a bunch of people every Saturday and invite them to church the next day. Usually do it late afternoon and into the evening, and I have them on my cell phone, wherever my phone is here. I have them on my phone and have them all in order. I put a little Z in front of their name, and these are people, kind of my prospects that I've met and I've talked to, and they said they might come, and not necessarily regular folks, but just some people that don't always make it. And I call them, and I call them and say, hey, just touching base with you real quick. Hope you can make it tomorrow. I'm talking about blah, 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 and I tell them my topic. Hope to see you. I just want to touch base, and I get done with it in a hurry. Many of these calls are less than 60 seconds. I have kind of about a 10-mile drive back out to my house. And so what I try to do is I try to see how many calls I can make in a 10-mile time. And I've made, sometimes, 10 calls in 10 miles, just zipping right along, making those phone calls. That's a great way. The second way I do it is I text them. Now, there's some people that respond better to texting, and you'll probably kind of figure out which ones those are. So I take time to text them. And I do the same thing. I invite them, hey, hope that you can make it to church tomorrow. I'm talking about prayer. I'm talking about, whatever the topic is. And I give them just like I say, 1 or 2 sentences. Hope you can make it, exclamation mark, God bless you. Sometimes I say, let me know if you can make it, and I put a question mark, and then they call back, and that gives me a little dialogue with them. But that's another way of digital visitation. So number 1 is I call them. Number 2 is I text them. Number 3, something that works very good is what we call Facebook messaging. And if you're on Facebook with a lot of these people, and we use it quite actively here at our church, we let them know that we're going to stay in touch with them about church services and things. So I send them a Facebook message. Not to make it easy, sometimes I copy and paste the same message, and it's just, hey, tomorrow I'm talking about Islam versus Christianity, or tomorrow I'm talking about, the resurrection, or tomorrow, the sermon is going to be about, hope you can make it. And then I paste that in, and then I add their name at the front, and hey, hope you and your son can make it, or you and your husband can make it. So I make it kind of personalized that way. And again, I can do several dozen people on a Saturday evening and just touch base with them. The 4th way is we just use email, and there are some people that that will respond to email quicker than others. Not everybody does, but it does get there. And even if they don't open their email, they'll get it on Monday or Tuesday, and they'll say, hey, Pastor invited me to church, and that's kind of cool. So we believe the local church is worth inviting people to. Now, I love to win people to Christ wherever they may be, but I believe that this environment where we can watch their kids, where they can hear the gospel, they can see gospel singing, and feel the spirit of the church and see the harmonious group of flourishing believers is one of those absolutely fantastic things. So this is just 4 different ways to use what I call digital visitation to help invite folks to church. And if you'd like to learn more about these things, you can subscribe to the Reach Keep channel here on YouTube, and we'll keep you in touch with more of these 5-minute tips. And of course, there's other YouTube videos that you can watch too. If you'd like to learn how to reach young families, you need to reach a new young family, then follow the link that's on this YouTube video, and we'll get you on our mailing list, and we will stay in touch with you and continue to give you those innovative ideas that will help you to create a flourishing local church. So this is Mike with ReachKeep.com and 5 minutes to Better Sundays.